Hey guys, it's me Britney from iWords.net, and I'll be the one doing the Book Babble for this week. So excited. Yeah, me and Bear are going to try to take turns doing the Book Babble, so it won't be just like one of us having to do it all the time. And we didn't know I don't know, we didn't know if the reaction video worked well. It's like that just looked weird and confusing or what. And we love seeing you guys' responses and seeing how into it you get, because we love geeking out about books and we love finding people who like to as well. But yeah, this week I wanted to discuss, what do you guys think about cussing or swearing in books? For example, does it throw you off while you're reading, if F-bombs get dropped in the book, all these different words? Like, what do you think? Do you think it's necessary? Do you think it adds to the book, or do you think it takes away from it? What do you think? An example of this, which is a classic, but I still think, it's a good example of language and the censorship and people being really sensitive about the type of language used in books, is Twain's Huckleberry Finn. I didn't know there is a new publication of the book where they changed the N-word to slave, and they removed engine, or they replaced it with a more PC word. What do you guys think of that? Do you think that's okay? Do you think we shouldn't change it? Because that's, that might be, should we not change it because it's a classic, or should we change it because it's language we don't want our children reading? Personally, I don't think we should change Huckleberry Finn at all. It's lasted this long, and it's one of my favorites, so I might be biased, and I'm a literature major, so it really irks me. But yeah, I think that the language in Huckleberry Finn, it adds to the book. Personally, I think it does, or it makes a point clear, and that was the language at that time. Do you think it should be allowed to be censored and banned for the language used in it, or do you think that shouldn't be allowed? To think about young adult books as well. While you're reading, does it bug you whenever you hear tons of swearing, or even if you hear just a little bit? For example, I'm reading Here Lies Bridget by Paige Harbison, and there's not a lot of swearing in it at all, but I just was trying to think of a recent example of this. But there is one part in particular that stands out to me, because it uses a certain word that I hate. I feel like I'm not going to be giving anything away if I tell you what the word was, but it's the C word. And yeah, I hate that word with a passion. But I don't know. Should we censor that in books? Should we remove it? Should we edit it out? Should we find a different word? I think that certain swear words, or the language that it's spoken in, shows something about that character or characters, that situation, the personality traits, and I think that sometimes it's needed, because it's, it kind of shows and doesn't tell something. But other times, it might be like, okay, what was the point of that? Are you just wanting to shock people? I don't know. As Mark Twain once said, the difference between the almost right word and the right word is really a large matter. It's the difference between the lightning bug and the lightning, which I completely agree with. As a writer, you have to find exactly what is needed for that moment, and then story, and that scene, and the dialogue, and it's sometimes really hard, and sometimes you have to use a word that isn't necessarily appropriate, I think, to show something. Just like sometimes there can be ugly scenes in books because it has to be there, it shows something. I don't know, that's my personal opinion though. But yeah, what do you guys think? Like, do you think does it bug you whenever you are reading a book and there are swear words? Have you read any books where there's just tons of it, just like smatterings of, different cuss words or swear words through the book? And does it just, like, do you kind of just, like, eventually just put it away, you can't read it, or what do you guys think? I want to know. It's interesting, especially right now, because censorship and Huckleberry Finn and all the hoopla that's going about that. And alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Because we love geeking about books. Geeking?